Good evening, Cambridge, and I am so proud to be your member of the European Parliament still. Friends, I seem to spend my time in Brussels and Strasbourg at the moment packing and unpacking boxes. And writing speeches that it seems time after time I don't get to give, which I think for the time being is a rather good thing. But each time I write those speeches, the first thing I say is thank you. Thank you to the people of the East of England for giving me the chance to serve as your member of the European Parliament. And then I think the next thing I need to do is apologise. I have to apologise to all my colleagues in the European Parliament. Because what Brexit is doing is not only making Britain weaker, poorer and more isolated, the threat of Brexit is also making other European countries weaker, poorer and more isolated. And it is a tragedy, because the European Union is an amazing institution to be part of. It is great that everyone here is a European citizen. It's a parliament that values cooperation. We need a bit more of that in Westminster at the moment, I think. It's a parliament that values consensus. It's a parliament that thinks that being a part of the European Union is the greatest prosperity programme that has happened in generations. And for me, I sit in the European Parliament chamber next to my German colleague, Suzanne, a German colleague. And I just think back, it isn't many generations ago, it's my great-grandparents actually. My great-grandparents stood on opposite sides of the trenches in World War I, getting shell shock, one of them losing their leg in the trenches. That I can sit next to a German socialist colleague, and together we can compromise and we can put aside our national differences and work for a brighter future. That is an amazing position to be in and something I do not want to lose. I love being the MEP for Cambridge, because you always get a great Remain crowd. But today I am also the MEP for the whole of the East of England, for Norfolk, for Suffolk, for Essex, for Hertfordshire, for Cambridgeshire, for Bedfordshire. Today I was in Bedfordshire. I've been talking on different radio stations across the region, and I hear the voices of people who feel betrayed. They feel completely betrayed and let down. And we've got to make sure that we do our best to heal the divisions in society. Because it isn't Brexit that's the real betrayal. The real betrayal is government after government that doesn't make sure that people have got decent homes to live in, that doesn't invest in our National Health Service, and doesn't address the gap between rich and poor. That, to me, is the real betrayal. I also like Cambridge stays. But what we've also got to make sure is it isn't just Cambridge that stays. We've got to spread this message everywhere. You've got to cross some boundaries like the A14. And go to places like Biggleswade or Clacton to make sure that when we get that second referendum, we win it. Yes. Yes. So today, for me, is a great day because it's not Brexit Day, but there is still a long, long way to go. And we have got to keep fighting. But personally, I'm a socialist and therefore I am an optimist. And I will keep fighting alongside all of you to make sure that we don't just stop Brexit today. We don't just stop Brexit next week. We stop Brexit for good. Thank you very much.